What is up, Terra Squad? It's Solar. Hope you're having a sunny day today. It's not snowing in Michigan, so the weather is adequate, I guess. But I'm here for it, yay. Yeah. So today we are talking about portals as requested by subscriber Michelle. Yes, ma'am. You asked, you shall receive in this bitch. So please, everyone, keep asking. Like, please keep the comments up. Like, it's been great. I've been getting a little bit more comments or whatever. Let's keep that ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? Share these videos or whatever. Subscribe if you're not. I feel like everyone that watches is subscribed, because it's like I usually get like 20 views each video, and I have like, you know, like 20 some yeah, anyway, but help a bitch out, please and thank you. Anyway, so yeah, happy Tuesday. Shout out to all my Aries and Scorpios today, being Mars Day. I got the red on. I got fucking peppermint essential oils going in my oil diffuser. That's what the fuck this is called. For the life of me, I could not remember. Yes, I got that going. We're on it. We're on it. Let's go to fucking war. Anyway, sorry, this is what Tuesdays do to me. So, portals, right? We're talking about portals. And so, if I'm being honest with everyone, and particularly you, subscriber Michelle, I don't have any books that I can reference as far as like, yo, this shit got me too motherfucking together. When you mentioned it and I saw your comment the other day, I did go to Amazon and I saw like there was this one book. It was simply just called Portals, and I can link it if you want it. I didn't buy it because it was like, when I read the description, a lot of the shit that I saw that they were going to talk about was like shit that I already do in my practice. So it was kind of like, I don't need to spend $40 for a book to reaffirm that I'm doing something that's working for me. Like, I used to be like that. I'm just not here in my practice with that. So yeah. So yeah, I just was like, you know, this is a really good idea. So thanks for the inspiration. So I was like, let me talk about portals and all that good shit. And even like, what even is a portal, right? So I have like, you know, the dictionary definition, but also like, I mean, hell, let's get that one first, right? Let me be good. So it says a portal is a doorway, gate, or other entrance, especially a large and imposing one, right? So to me, like, when I just like think and I sit on the, you know, the word portal, like I always just think doors, and I've always just thought doors. Like it's just a doorway to somewhere. Like even when I was a kid, and like playing pretend or whatever, it was just like what it was. And I feel like that door metaphor and the whole playing pretend as a child is why I still have that same fucking energy towards portals as an adult magician, because we all know, or again, I don't know where you are in your practice, but you realize at some point, the more you do this magic shit, the more you do like the alchemy, the more you like realize that you're manipulating like the laws or whatever of the universe, and the laws of cause and effect, and this, that, and the third, and all this other shit. You realize this is a big ass game of pretend. And the ones who are the strongest are the ones with the best imaginations. And I've been doing it for a longer time, obviously. But yeah, so I just was like, when I realized that, I was just like, oh, well, inner child activate, bitch. Like, what's good? Like, comment high, like, you know, just whatever. So, yeah, yes, I definitely just use the door metaphor for anytime I'm talking about portals or like opening or closing a portal. Also because, I don't know. So, let me, sorry, I wanted to have like a way that I could, conceptualize this, and it would be a very like concise way that I could like talk to you guys about this or whatever, but it just did not come to me. It's still very much so in my head, and I'm trying to like bring it down. So I'm like, sorry if I'm like pausing. You're like, y'all already know y'all know how I am. So I just want to make sure my words are right, and even when I try to make sure they're right, they're not half the time. Anywho, so yeah, you're a god, right? Congratulations. Like, you're a god, you're a goddess, right? What do, I'll just say God. I'm not, it's not gender specific. It's a gender neutral term. Anytime I say any like gendered language, it's fucking gender neutral. That's because that's my energy that I put towards it. I be sissing the fuck out of my, like male friends and sometimes male clients, and I'll be like, look, don't get offended. I say sis for everybody. Same thing with my girls. I'll be like, bruh, like just, it is what it is. So yeah, anyway, so you're God. What do gods do? Gods create. So the like I don't know, where do you go to create? Where's your special creative place? I know, like, I have a friend who they're specifically like, they want that more like when they go into their head and they start like, you know, manifesting or creating something, it's very much so like Martha Stewart-esque, you know, like it's just very like I don't want to say like arts and craftsies, but that's just kind of like the energy that they have towards it. But that's just, you know, what they like, right? So it's just like, we're over here and today we have a da 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 and I'm gonna put this on here, and that's just, you know, their creative space, and that's how they like, you know, see shit. I don't know, but look, because everybody has their own specific way that shit's gonna work. Me personally, I go into this black void, and this void has always been there for me even when I was a kid, before I started doing like, you know, you always kind of, if you're a spiritualist now, you've probably been doing spiritual or witchy shit when you were a child and you just didn't know what the fuck you were doing, or, you know what I'm saying? Like those little like clicks didn't happen because no one probably told you that you were like, hey, you the shit over here. I see you making an herb pack, and you just, you know what I'm saying? But you whatever, like you're just playing pretend or whatever, but it's like, no, you're actually like doing something. Anyway, so yeah, I just always had this black void that I would go into and like create something, whether it be like a friend or like, oh, that sounds really sad. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just, I used to make these characters a lot, like just these like giant, like grotesque, like teddy bears and things. And like, there's one, fuck, I'm gonna see if I can find this picture, because I think it's in my like yearbook or whatever. In high school, I made this thing called multicorn, and it was like this, teddy bear unicorn that had like 3 horns up top, and then he had like he had one arm, and then the other arm was just like teeth, or some crazy shit. I don't remember, but it was multicorn was the bee's knees. All right, he was like the mascot for my friend group. Anyway, so yeah, I just go into this dark void and I create multicorns. Anyway, so okay, so this void, right? And how this pertains to portals. Yeah, you're a god, right? You want to like learn some shit. You want to hop into some other whatever. You don't know how to get there. Again, you create these portals. So my portals look like doors manifesting in my void. And I mean, if you want to take that, go ahead, because, you know, as much as gods create, gods also steal, all right? And gods duplicate. And we can see that even in nature, right? You look at a leaf. I saw this on a meme, I think, a few days ago, but you look at a leaf and you see the veins and the little leaf lines, right? That's in it. And it's also mimics like how like the streams and rivers kind of go into the ocean, and mimics like the way our veins and our shit and our lungs, like kind of like look and all that other shit or whatever. So we can see like if something works, it is perfectly fine to duplicate. You don't need to try to make your own like actual, but if you want to make your own shit and you want to be like, no, I don't want a black void, I want a purple void, by all means. If you don't even want a void, maybe you want to like, maybe your void is being in a giant warm cushy vagina. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're just in a fucking like womb space. You know what I'm saying? I don't fucking look. Do whatever works for fucking you. Maybe it's not even maybe you're in a field and the field has daisies. I don't know, because it's your own shit. You can't like, it's not something that don't feel bad about, like, you know, like you're stealing from someone or whatever. It's not something to be stolen. You know what I'm saying? You're not about to go meditate in a black void and then see me. Like it's not what it is. Anyway, so sorry for the tangent, but I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. Okay, so what I do is I go into my dark void space, and then, you know, the door manifests, and whatever it is that I'm trying to communicate with, that's what that door is. And how I handle that is different for each type of energy, right? And I feel like it should be for you as well, just because, like, I mean, the way you approach different shit is, I mean, there's different energy signatures, so there's not one right way to approach all of them. You know what I'm saying? But the one right way, I guess, for all of them would be respectfully. And that's what I do, or at least I try to do, and I haven't got done up, so I'm so I guess I'm right. Anyway, like, no one fuck with me, so okay, so these doors, right? Now, when I first started on my ancestral like practice and, you know, building that altar and stuff, which an altar is also a portal, so you could even you can make an altar for whatever energy that you're trying to connect to. I don't do that though, because I'm like, I want to see if you want to fuck with me before I make an altar for you. That's just what it is. And I'm gonna get into how I do that with the door metaphor in just 2 seconds. Wait, you're so goddamn impatient. God damn it. Anyway, so I don't know if that was for you guys or for me, honestly. So anyway, yeah, so when I started working with my ancestors, I did not go into my void and, you know, go to the ancestor door, so to speak. And like what I usually do for like an energy that I don't know if wants to, you know, fuck with me or not, I'll just like scratch the door. I don't know why. It just seems more courteous than knocking, and definitely a lot more courteous than you just walking the fuck in, because that's how you get fucked the fucked up. So anyway, I did not do that, right, for my ancestors. And, you know, for a while, everything was fine. But because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, because I was a baby witch, and, you know, it was literally like at this point, I was just doing any type of regurgitated information that I was finding, which is fine to some degree. But at the end of the day, like, you still need to have personal discernment, and you also need to understand how to protect yourself. Like, I didn't even know until this year there's a specific way to call on the ancestors that you want, like, that can actually help you with your path. I mean, like, granted, I want to venerate my ancestors. I want them all to evolve. Like, if, you know, some, you know, it's crazy. Some of them don't want to evolve, right? You would think that you in the whole other spirit fucking world, and, you know, you see people doing crazy shit or whatever, and you would want to, I don't know. Look, to each his own. I'm a person that always likes to grow, but some people don't like that shit. So whatever. Having said that though, so, yeah, I didn't know a lot of the nuances of working with the ancestor altar space. I just knew that, you know, when you call upon them, call for your benevolent ancestors, because, you know, if you're just calling all of your ancestors, you know, you've got murderers, maybe some fucking, you know, nefarious ass people in your bloodline, because we all do. Everybody, you know, makes mistakes and shit, and some people are just, we ain't going there. But I'm just saying, like, you know, so there's just a proper way to do that. I didn't know none of that. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to feed them every day, because some of them could get like a little docile, a little lazy, a little like spoiled in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, with just like expecting a whole bunch of your energy or your ashe, or like, you know, different food offerings, but then they're not actually helping you in your progression. They're actually hindering you, because now it's just like, oh, if I don't get my cigarettes, all of a sudden you who have never smoked nicotine a day in your life, you've just been like crack fiending for some Newports, you know what I'm saying? Just little shit like that. So, but thankfully I had enough, benevolent ancestors, and like I have oh my god, okay, sorry, I'm just like, I just have this one in particular spirit guide that's part of my ancestry team that like literally like, thank you. So anyway, because I'm like, that is the only reason why, like, you know, I didn't get fucked up and confused with my ancestor, and which I have done. Like, there's been times where I will touch and go with my ancestor work, because it was just like, at some point I was sitting down and I'm like, I didn't know whose voice I was hearing, and it was just a lot of demands and not a lot of, oh, here's how you can navigate. And I was just like, you know what, anyway. So but yeah, I'll do story times if you guys are interested on like my ancestor work and altar shit and all that good shit. We can talk about it. I don't mind. But yeah, anyway, sorry for the tangent. Yeah, so I didn't do that for my ancestor. I didn't do the whole like go to the door and, you know, see what's good. I just like went in there like it was a goddamn party, and, you know, that's kind of why, like, again, I didn't realize I was doing certain things wrong, or not necessarily wrong, but, you know, I could have been doing things better. Like, I'll just say that. So yeah, anyway. Now, I'm a firm believer that if an energy or entity, deity, whatever you want to call it, if it has not come to you or shown itself to you in some way, then you probably shouldn't be fucking with it. But I am also a firm believer that maybe you do have to take initiative sometimes. And I feel like that discernment comes with just practice and just over time, like learning over time and shit. You know what I'm saying? So having said that, yeah. I knew that I wanted to work with like demons, right? And I knew that since like when I first started my spiritual practice, like that was one of the first things. Like when I realized that you could do it, I was like, oh, I want to fucking do it. And it's my mentality and all that shit has vastly changed from that point. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like at that time it was very much so coming from an ego-centered ass shit, and we all know, like, if you don't have that pure heart. Anyway, I wanted to work with demons because I thought, like, okay, I was so much so in that Christian and doctrine, you know, I was coming out of that. I was, you know, taking my spirituality like real serious, but it was still like, you know, just different fear blockages or different, like, you know, I don't know. It's like, let me know if y'all ever felt like when you made that, like, that legit decision of like, you know, this is what it is now. I don't know, I just felt, I I don't know how to describe this feeling, and let me know if you guys felt it too, or if like something similar, if you can, like, if you know what the fuck I'm talking about, just like, please affirm me, because I don't know, bitch be feeling crazy sometimes. But like when I made that decision of like, no, I can't live with this fear anymore, I can't live with this blockage, like I know for a fact, like I do not want to worship God, like or this false god or whatever, I felt real alone. Like, I don't know, I felt like there's always been like that weird like like, I don't want to say blind faith of it all, but you know, it was just like, I don't need to worry about this, I got Jesus. And it was just like, I didn't have that anymore, and it was just like, shit, I just got myself. And that was like, oh my God, that was so scary. Oh, I'm crying now thinking about it, just like sorry, I'm like experiencing some time traveling right now. Like, it was just a very intense energy. So I was just like, yeah, I don't know. And I felt just vulnerable and exposed and just like naked out in these streets. But yeah, and that's why I end up finding Priestess Aset Ramen. This is around the same time that I did the Kali work. And if you saw my last video about Kali, it's like, this is literally the same conversation. Yeah, I was like, I know I need to get a reading from her, because I'm like, the only thing I can do, again, I was just like protecting myself in like different layers. So like I knew I could drink certain herbs, or, you know, make spiritual baths, showers, whatever. And so I was just doing that. And, you know, she put me on like different like Solomon keys to just, you know, like, you know, cloak yourself up a little bit more and all that good shit. Anyway, again, she got me together. Not gonna fangirl, but isn't she great? Anyway, so yeah, so during this call, I told her, like, you know, I wanted to work with demons, and I know she was picking up on, like, obviously, because she's giving me a reading, and she knows that, again, like, I'm having all these root chakra problems, I'm having fear blockage problems, I'm having, like, literally any and everything that could go wrong, and that you shouldn't be working with demons when you're having fear, paranoia, and fucking, like, no sense of self, which at that time I didn't know that, because at that time, again, I was still much so like, I wanted to work with them from an ego centered like base of like, you know, I've never been a love and light type bitch, even when I was like, you know, promoting that love and light or whatever, like, because you didn't know no better. You was just like, I know I'm spiritual now, so I got like this amethyst crystal, and like I wear hair and pants, and like I do yoga outside barefoot, and it was very much so like that. That's I'm not gonna lie, hey, look, we all grow, right? Growth, 2 F's, a bitch done, what is that, glowed up now. Spiritual glow up happened. But yeah, so I just remember, like, you know, because, you know, at some point in the reading, she's like asking me, like, you know, just talk to her and shit. And so I'm just like hopping all over the place. I'm like, and I like this, and I was over here, and I was doing this, and I was doing that, and I bought this Kabbalah book, and I and I really want to work with demons. Oh my God, demons. And she's just like, you sure you're ready to work with demons? She ain't had to say shit else, because it wasn't what she said, it wasn't how she said it, it was the dead silence that, you know, before she said it and after. And I was like, silence is golden, it speaks volumes. I was just like, in that moment, I'm like, she was quiet, but she was very, you know what I'm saying, like, she said what she had to say. And thankfully I listened, because I don't know what would have happened to me. Like, I probably would have had some crazy like demonic experience that would have like scared the shit out of me, because I wouldn't have known how to process it. Because if you don't, again, I probably already lost some people just by simply mentioning the word demon, which to that I say fuck you. But like, we all, if you're there in your spiritual practice, that you understand that a demon is a genius. It is an archaic energy. It is a archaic energy in itself is impartial to your bullshit. It does not care. So if the message is that you need to sit down and pay attention to something, sometimes that message will come like as like, I don't know, your whole house burning the fuck down, except for this one space, and then this one space is untouched, and it was like the one thing you need to focus on. That's just how shit can be sometimes when you tapping into demons, all right? Like, it is what it is. And I was not ready for that at that time, because again, where I was with the fear, the paranoia, the still Christianized like mindset a little bit. And if I'm being honest, like, I was like, I wanted to work with them on some Hollywood shit. Like, if someone bumped me, I could just be like, Beelzebub! Like, and we know that shit don't work. That's not how this works. That's not how any of it works. But, yeah, so thankfully I didn't make that dumbass mistake. But I did make dumbass mistakes later, so let's talk about it. All right, so Fast forward years later, at this point, you know, I'm still doing like just little shit, right? So I'm finding different YouTube channels that talk about demonology a little bit more, that go into like just breaking down. I mean, most of it is like people's personal experience. So I didn't want to just keep watching those videos because, you know, you don't want to like start looking for those experiences in your own experience and you miss out. So you know, I read the Solomon Keys and Lesser Key, even though that shit so fucking boring. I have Demonology Goetia by S. Connolly, which that's been good. But anyway, so yeah, recently, like last year, I reopened that book up, the Demonology book, and so I started studying that a little bit more. And so I was like, you know what? I'm actually ready. Like I see it. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, it's not me, it's the ginger tea. Like I was already, my stomach was on bump earlier, so I was like, let me make some ginger tea, and now you're healing with me. That's what's happening. Anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah. So I was like, I definitely think I'm ready to work with demons. I knew that it was going to be like some shit, just because like anytime you open a door to like work with some energy or whatever, it's gonna be some shit. But yeah, so I was like, let me do this. So again, went to that void space that I have, and I went to you know, I manifested my demon door, and I just went to go scratch it. And so the reason why I scratch, I don't knock, I don't just walk in, because you know, you just walk in, that's, oh sorry, I don't know, sorry. So yeah, I scratched the door because, like, again, you don't want to just walk in that bitch, because that's rude. You don't just walk into someone's house, right? I didn't want to knock because knocking to me implies like, you know, we have like a relationship. I don't know why scratching just seems so like a better idea. Like maybe if you guys know any fucking esoteric, like, you know, signs or meanings behind like scratching at something, let a bitch know. Maybe it's because I'm a cat, like it's the segment or something in there. Like I don't fucking know. I just know I was scratching shit. So yeah, I'll scratch the door and then I'll come back to my space, you know, to, you know, the actual like 3D plane of it all, and just live my life. And I find that, you know, this energy, like not the demon energy, but just any energy that I go to and I'm scratching at the door, because, you know, again, this is energy that has not come to me personally and was like, yeah, we want to work with you right the fuck now. What's good? And so again, and I don't make altars because I'm like, I want to see that if you want to work with me. You know what I'm saying? Don't just assume that just because you want to do something, that's what you know, you can do or that you will do. And so for me, the scratch is just like a, hey, like, I'm here if you think, you know, if you want to meet, whatever. Like, and so it's crazy because when I do that for, again, it's not just demons, but it's like any other like type of energy, like, or deity or any type of working that I want to get into, if they fuck with me, like obviously like you'll see the signs in your day-to-day life, right? And so from that point, that's when I will go and you know might build the altar, or I'll, you know, start leaving out offerings and shit like that, because I don't just leave the offerings because, like, you know, some entities or whatever, like some energy, they just you know, you do the once and now they just like, now you're a prison bitch. Like, and I'm just like, we ain't doing that over here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I was like, during that time, after I had scratched the demon door, the energy definitely came to me, and it was a whirlwind. Like I thought I was ready. And here's the thing, you're never going to be 100% ready for anything. You just gotta, at some point, you gotta just have faith in yourself and knowing in yourself. And you have to be like, you know, did you do your English, did you do your due diligence? You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I did, you know what I'm saying? So like I did the, I protected myself a certain way, which we'll talk about that. So if you go to these doors, right, like there are certain things or certain smells, certain herbs or whatever that, let's say like the demons, right, that they might not like. Or it might like repel that energy. So, I mean, for one, you shouldn't be doing any type of working with anything if you're afraid. And if you feel like you need to, like, you know, just kind of like have the blicky on you when you're going to the door, like that's not, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, let's talk about like just general protection. So you should know how to protect yourself. Like if that energy does not fuck with you, you should know how to protect yourself, because you don't want it to be like a, you know, now they're fucking with you because it's more fun than to actually like help you out. You know what I'm saying? So, before you go onto these doors, like even if you wanted to start some like vampirism or whatever, what do vampires not like? I asked you a question. So you're really not about to answer me? Okay, I see how it is. Vampires don't like garlic. So if you were going to, like, you know, if you wanted to, like, go scratch at the vampire door or whatever, that's one thing that, you know, if you feel like, you know, weird after that or whatever, and you're just like, maybe I shouldn't have gone there, bitch, garlic, like, garlic yourself. Anyway, like, that's the story for another time. But yeah, so yeah, so after I had scratched the demon door and, you know, living my best life or whatever, doing my shit, I'm just seeing this energy pop up in my life, and it was literally like telling me all the things that I was like doing the fuck wrong, or shit that I was like becoming very stagnant with. And it was like, no, you ain't doing this. Like, no, you said your goal was what? So why is this here? Why is that here? Da, da, da. And it wasn't like Kali coming through with the whole like, this is fucked, that's fucked, here, hold my hand and let's do this together. It was very much so like little fires that the demonic energy was setting around me, and then it was just sitting there like this. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So and I did a lot of crying. That's what I did. I was crying for like a month and a half, just like out of nowhere too. I'm just like, ah. Anyway, so and it was crazy because, like, you know, again, like, you have to feel your feelings, right? But, you know, at some point you got to dust yourself off, put on your big girl pants, well, put on your big girl boots and like and get the fuck on. So and that's what I was doing. And it was crazy because, like, I got so lost in the sauce of like just feeling like the 3D emotion of it all, and just be like, oh my god, this is happening, that's happening, and this again, little fires everywhere, that not necessarily the demon was setting, but it, because it's not like it's not like they, you know what I'm saying, it's already there. Like, I explained this to my sister the other day. It's like when you're spring cleaning, and it's that transition of like shit looking worse before it like gets organized and it's better and, you know, it's clean. It's not that this like new mess came out of nowhere, because it's the same exact mess that it was, but it's just like you like pulled all the coats out the closet, you fucking like all the mail that was like just in the junk drawer, like you now just like threw that on the floor, you're going through that, you're sorting that, throwing that shit away, all that, you know what I'm saying? It's the same mess that's been here, but now we just get to see it all at once, and it was not fun. And so yeah, it was just a whole bunch of that. And I remember like I was calling my mom like every week or so, and I was just like crying, and like she's telling me I need to ground myself, and I was like, you're right, mama, da da da. And then she was like, you need to go back to God. And I was like, I'm being tested. That's how I knew I was being tested, because I was like, ain't no motherfucking way, look. And it's crazy to me that how like she could still so like wholeheartedly be like, yeah, you like, I see what you're doing, but Jesus, like thank you for doing that one thing for me, but Jesus. I'll come and talk to you about like when I see some crazy like weird spiritual shit or some spiritual shit happen to me, but go back and give it to God. Anyway, so at that moment, I just like woke up and I was realizing, oh, this is what I asked for. Like, this is the impartial ass genius energy that I asked for. And I was getting lost in the sauce. And that's the trickery of it. Like, people always be like, you know, this is what, you know, they say like demons are bad, or they're malicious, or they're tricksters. And it's just like, nah, they're not tricking you. You're just not smart. Like, you're just a goddamn idiot. You ruled by your emotions. And I was. And it really like showed me that. And I was just like, and you already know, again, if you're on this path, like, you have to be in control of your emotions, otherwise you're gonna be doing some fuck shit and dumb shit. And it really just showed me how much of like I need to not put on a poker face, but how to actually like have like I'm not putting on a poker face, bitch, I am the poker face. Like, it's just like shit is what it is. Like, from that moment on, I really just started seeing like more, not nuance to situations, because I feel like, you know, if you're tapped in, you already see nuance to situations, but it was like now I'm really cutting down to like the core of like whatever, and how that is like there's like synchronicities to this other aspect of my life, and it's because I didn't do da 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 da, and if I just did this one thing, all of that would dissolve, and I do that one thing and seeing it dissolve, it was just beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, demons aren't tricksters. They're called, one of the ancient like definitions of a demon, or the etymology, is a genius. And so it's just like, again, is it your fault? Whose fault is it for you being stupid? Like, because it would have been nobody's fault but my own if I, you know, again, still letting myself be lost in that sauce. And if I would have took my mother's advice and gone back to Jesus, and I could only imagine just like, you know, like all the negative shit that would have happened to me after that, because like I didn't start making sense until I started taking my spiritual shit serious. Life didn't make sense. I was depressed. I was suicidal. I've literally tried offing myself several times. Yeah, like where the fuck was God at for that? Anyway, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, yeah, shit just didn't make sense until I started coming over here, and yeah, that's just what it was. So I was like, I can only imagine just like how ass backwards I would have been, like gone back to church. And I don't look good in church clothes, all right? Like, and it's not for me. I mean, I love me a big ridiculous hat and fascinator, but like it's just not. I am not a conservative lady. So anyway, yeah. So that's my experience with opening demon portals. Also, I guess closing portals, I mean, how do you do your benediction? You know what I'm saying? Like if you can, my thing is, if you can work forwards, you can work backwards. And sometimes working backwards is how you figure shit out. And I learned that just because like my uncle showed me, like on the, like when I was a kid, it was like, you know, the back of the cereal box, we'd have the maze or whatever. Like I always loved that shit. Doing mazes. I used to have like books, like the little magazine books of like different mazes. Like that was like my thing as a kid. And so he just like showed me like, if you can't get it that way, go that way. Cause I just, I don't know, like, you know, that shit, like you just never like conceptualize that. And I'm just like, huh, that's some real ass shit. And now every, like, you know, since that point on, it was just like, I always just move backwards now. And that moving backwards makes more sense to me. So a lot of times I'll just be like, again, so like, let's use the vampire metaphor, right? I knew that for one, I wasn't ready to work with vampires because like, just the idea for one was still very much so Hollywood centered. And, when I realized that it was just more energy work, I don't know. It's very much so energy based shit. I mean, granted, I know there's some people that out here crazy and drinking blood and shit. I mean, let me not call you crazy. Do what you got to do. But, like one of the things that I was like, well, if I was going to be scratching at this door, like what would be the moment before? And again, garlic, just little shit like that. So yeah. Also again, so working backwards, right? If you've ever cast a circle before, like that's you opening a door. So you, backwards would just be like, uncast it. You know what I'm saying? Just uncast it. How do I close my portal? I close the door. I mean, like, or if the door's already closed, because like I don't like just go opening shit, but like I'll just, you know, now the door gets like smushed down, it turned the lock, and now I throw it back into the void, and that thing is closed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it's one of those things too where like I don't know, I feel kind of iffy giving my advice because again, I never read a book about this. I don't have a godparent to confirm what it is. I just know that it works for me specifically, so maybe it could work for you. But like, fuck, what was I about to say? It's just like, I don't want you to, you know, try to fuck with some shit and it's like you're not even in a strong headspace to where like you understand that you created this door and that you can close it, you can open it, and you can send it the fuck away. Because if you're not in that space, then like don't be opening like don't try to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's I don't know. It could be like your mind can be the worst fucking like your worst enemy sometimes. So then it, like, you know, you're getting that, I don't know, that trickster energy, and now you just fucking like are in your head and you're going crazy because you opened up a portal in your head and there's something telling you that it's like, oh, now you can't close it. And it's just like, bitch, if you don't just close this shit and say goodbye, like, but it takes a lot of mental strength for that. So and for that I say fucking meditate. Yeah, how about like just do that. If you can't even like focus on just the one thing in your meditation, like if you can't focus on just even having a black void or whatever fucking color void that you want without interruption, you should not be trying to open, create, and close portals. So yeah. Oh yeah, but even okay, so yeah, casting circle, that's a portal in itself. Working with the elements, those are all portals into, you know, spiritual realm. In particular, like I know we talked about mermaids a little bit before. So like water scrying, you could fucking portal to some mermaid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like little shit like that. You can scry in a candle, scry in some smoke, obviously like incense, air. If you have a crystal ball, you can scry into tree scrying. I fucking love tree scrying, and also that's a portal in itself, especially if they have like the what do they call the little the eyes in the tree? I don't remember what the term for that is, but like just particularly stare into those points, like for sure. And then even that, like I've had a little tree that I made friends with, and scrying into that motherfucker, it was like a whole Keebler elf situation of like little things in the tree, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it wasn't like I wasn't what was I doing? I don't work with fairies or anything like that, and even though I think that, you know, that whole side of shit is like really cute and magical, and not to say like, you know, working with demons and shit isn't magical, it's all fucking magical. And fairies aren't love and light either, so you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you know, I really love the fairy aesthetic, I guess. I've always been attracted to that. I had a friend when I was like 18, and she was like a whole fucking fairy. Oh, like no, like legit, I'm gonna do a story time on that because I was on DMT, and like she legit like turned into a fairy. I was just like, bitch, you really are a fairy. Anyway, so but yeah, like I don't know, I just love fairy aesthetic. I like little fairy gardens and stuff, so I was just like, this tree just like gave me some really good like energy. I was just like, I don't know what it is about this one tree in particular, and it was on my like walk to work, so like I would just like pass it. Actually, I would detour specifically just to say hi to this tree, and it was a cool ass tree. Shout out to you, tree. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I work with portals, I guess. The mundane shit of it, you know, like again, we have portals in our house. We have, oh, let's talk about like the cards, right? So when I was learning how to use tarot cards, I was watching this reader on YouTube, and she was like, how do you do your portal? And I was just like, I don't fucking know. All right, we're back. So yeah, I was watching one of the YouTube girls, and she was talking about like opening your portal to your tarot, and I was just like, I had never thought about that. I was just like, I just figured like, whew, excuse me, it's the ginger. So I'm like, I figured, you know, just me simply opening it and like, you know, shuffling was opening the portal, and to like, I wouldn't be wrong for that, because yeah, you are. Like however, do you want it to just be that? Let's make it more magical. like literally anything in life can be as mundane or as magical as you like it to be, even down to like brushing your fucking teeth, right? It's just brushing your teeth, but you want to like throw some magic on it. You're now working with 2 different elements, because we have the earth element. Like let's say you use that charcoal, you got that good toothpaste, you know what I'm saying? So like that, you know, has like some herb infusion. I don't fucking know your life, but you know, you got earth, you're running the water, you know, you're mixing earth and water together. You're now, you might speak an incantation onto your shit. Now you got air, you know what I'm saying? And you might draw like a sigil or something on your tongue. You might, you know, you might have like a specific like mantra for like, my teeth are healthy and bright and white. Like, I don't fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's magical as fuck, right? And side note, if you had a kid that's into magic and not into their hygiene, there you go. But you know what I'm saying? So like, make it as magical as you want it to be. Having said that, so like, one thing that I like to do now, because, oh, and the lady, fuck, I don't remember her name. She's not like, she was like on another YouTuber that I watches YouTube, so I don't even know if she has a YouTube, like, anyway. So she was saying like, you know, she blows on hers, you know, and like I blow on mine sometimes, especially if I'm like trying to like cleanse them real quick. I don't have any of my tools, so I'll just like, you know what I'm saying? I know some girls knock on theirs. Sometimes I knock. It depends on the deck, really, for me. But yeah. So when she said that, I was like, I can make this more magical, because as much as we could talk again, God's create, God's also copy. We see like, again, do I need to make the leaf metaphor with like, you have the one pattern and it can repeat in nature, right? So yeah, I was like, I see you, sis. And I take that and I raise you some other shit. And that other shit was like, all right, so if y'all seen Doctor Strange, y'all know when he be doing like the Yeah. And he, like, it's that ring of fire and it's the portal and da da da. So I picture my cards with, like, not necessarily a ring of fire, but just a ring of whatever it is. So, like, these, they're the blue, it has stars on it, you know, it has the cat, witch hat, broom, or whatever. So, like, I'll just have, like, you know, maybe like it'll be like a blue ring or something, and then it's just like stars and shit coming out of it. I might hear a cat meow in the background, like, just try to get on that frequency of what the cards are, because, you know, each card, each deck holds a different vibration, it holds different energy. I mean, hell, this is like an everyday tarot deck. This is completely different from like my hoodoo tarot deck, you know what I'm saying? Even though, like, I could draw a Two of Cups on here and I could draw a Two of Cups up there, but it has completely different meanings just from the imagery and from the vibe of, like, what the cards are doing. That's part of the magic in the cards, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, each one looks a little bit different when if I do it that way, the Doctor Strange, like, you know, because you gotta copy sometimes. But yeah, each one is a little bit different just depending on the energy of the card. And to me, it just helps me get on the card's frequency so we can work together. And I'm not just like, a Two of Cups means like a lover, this and that, da 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 da. And it's just like, yeah, that's one of the definite, but what is it actually, what is the vibe? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just don't tell me I got a fucking King of Pentacles in reverse, but like none of the rest of the reading, like, you know, there was nothing in this reading that had anything to do with the King's card being in reverse. It was just the fact that you have half your deck upside down. You know what I'm saying? So you're not reading from energy, you're just reading what the fuck the card is. And anybody can do that. And that's why so many, you know, like, everybody's a fucking tarot reader these days. You get that cheat sheet off of Etsy and you just look, sorry, not trying to be a dick, but anyway. But yeah, so that's how I work with portals in here. And obviously it's just the same thing. I just do whatever again to close it. Also, there's nothing wrong with saying thank you, you can go now. Like, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like, you know, you have to have all the bells and whistles out, or maybe you do, I don't know. Again, your practice is as magical or mundane as you want to make it. And that's one of my favorite things about this. And that's why, again, I'm so much like happy that I found left hand path shit, because I'm just like, if it's working, nobody can tell you that you're wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they could give you some, you might be able to, like, you know, give me some spices, make this a little, like, zhuzh it up a little bit, but it is what it is. It's working for me, so it's working for me. Hopefully this could work for you guys. If you try this out, let me know how it, if it does work for you, because, like, then I can make a whole fucking book about this shit, you know. But also, let me know how you guys manipulate portals and shit, because I'm very curious, because, again, this was just something that came very natural to me, and so this is just the way that I do it. But I'm always looking for new ways, you know. It is what it is. And I'm curious just to see, like, you know, everyone else's, like, let's kiki, let's, you know, since everyone's practice is so different, let's talk about our differences. Shit, nigga. Anyway, portals, let's say, portals in the house to, did we talk about that already? No, we didn't. So yeah, there's portals in the house, right? Besides just, like, you know, your doorway. There's portals under the bed. There's portals in the, you know, closet space or whatever. And, you know, that I feel like, I mean, we can argue that it's your own shadow that, you know, people are afraid of. And that's why they'd be like, it's a monster in the bed, in the closet. Yes. But also these are areas of just different energy signatures. So there's different portals, different things here that can happen if you're not, like, you know, too well versed. Let's say, oh, fucking, if you've ever watched, True Blood, like, I wanted to, like, watch that again recently. Every like year or so, I feel like I end up watching, like, rewatching True Blood, but I always, like, end it before, like, that last season was trash. So I just remember it was like when Tara's mama had started fucking around with that pastor, and they over at Terry's trailer, and they, like, saging the bitch out because he had that djinn, right, that was, like, fucking with him. So then Tara's mama was all like, you know, she had the sage or whatever, and she's like, gotta get up in these corners, you know, the devil loves them corners. The devil loves to hide in the corners. And bitch, yeah, like, if these walls could talk, right? Like, you know, there's a lot of juju that, you know, gets in the corners. I mean, I got me, because I had to use a lemon the other day, so I had cut my lemon, and I got that shit just sitting out here right now, absorbing some shit. You could put some lemon slices or, like, half a lemon in the corners of your space or whatever to, like, you know, bring that energy down. You can same with, like, again, garlic or onions. I legit, like, will have, like, just my juju garlic around, and then somebody will try to touch it, and I'm just like, no. Please don't. Like, anyway, so yeah, Oh, I was gonna say, portal play, even though that sounds really dirty. Portal play. But yeah, the different areas of your house that have different energy signatures, different, again, these portals, if you will, you need to, well, you don't need to do whatever the fuck you want to, but one thing that I like to practice, just my energy sensing and intuition strengthening on, is like going to these different areas of my house and just picking up on that energy and what it feels like, who was in here, you know, maybe even what they did, and like just like little shit like that. It's really good, especially if you live with people. If you have an area that you frequent more than they do and vice versa, like it's just very nice to, again, like, for one, because you shouldn't be trying to explore, like, you know, go into voids and manipulating some shit if you can't even manipulate the energy that's around you in your mundane ass space. So let's get there first, you know what I'm saying? I think that's it. Yeah, let's talk about it. I hope this was informative for you guys. I'm sorry, I didn't want this to be a long ass video, but it is what it is. Portals. I'm gonna close this portal and end the video. Okay, so learn and grow for 2Fs. Bye.